For the week of January 24th, 2021, this is your Congress News. In the news, global feedback on Hebron and Charis People Group's launch, and Nicaragua relief update. The global launch of newly commissioned people groups for the men and women continued last week across the KCN. The launch of Hebron Company, the people group for men, began on Friday 8th January. This was followed on Saturday 9th January with the launch of Charis Women's people groups across the Congress. Let's continue our scan of the feedback on the process flowing in from across the world. And here is feedback from Japan. Looking at the foundation architecture, we all realized we don't have children, young boys, girls, men and women. Now we all are stepping forward together to believe for our children and grandchildren, grabbing onto what is promised by God in this architecture. From now, we will start birthing leaders for the younger generation. Here is some feedback coming in from Indonesia. We are learning to be women who will function as God's word tells us. We have to become a strong rock, strong in prayer and worship, having inner beauty. We have to be women with oil in our lamps. We must be alert to face the future and always willing to help others. Our goal is to reach maturity in God's standard. Such amazing feedback coming from Indonesia. And here is a comment coming in from the United States of America. The Hebron launch was massively impartational. You could feel the men leaning into the grace and laying claim to everything that was declared. One Hebronite described the meeting as a rallying point around the values and principles of the Congress. Moving now to an update on the Congress WBN Nicaragua relief. The Central American nation of Nicaragua is part of the Hispanic territories and Brazil region of Congress WBN, with 6 churches spread across the country. Nicaragua continues to wrestle with the wreckage left behind by Hurricane Eta and Hurricane Iota that struck a double blow within a 2-week period in November. We have been responding to the crisis in Nicaragua with massive generosity from the saints of the Congress. Both financial and clothing contributions have been abundant. In the last week of 2020 and first of 2021, the boxes kept arriving and teams from the Elijah Center Embassy in Atlanta worked overtime to consolidate and pack them, to the point that we had more than enough for the task. It was like the offerings requested to build the tabernacle that were more than enough, that Moses finally stopped the offering. Let's listen to the latest report on the impact of the relief efforts on our kingdom communities in Nicaragua.
This is a Congress WBN report from the Hispanic territories in Brazil. Several weeks into the Nicaragua Relief Project, senior elders continue to use resources and funds to purchase essentials for the saints of Nicaragua. As part of this initiative, the senior elders have committed to a seamless process of accountability and have been reporting on the weekly needs of the kingdom communities. Reports, tracking surveys, and weekly check-ins have aided in Congress WBN's ability to manage the flow of resources. Food such as rice, beans, oats, pastas, soups, along with household essentials and medicine continue to be supplied to the saints. Congress WBN has committed to a continued support structure and sees the importance of supplying needs beyond the initial days after the natural disaster. With continued transparency provided by the leaders in Nicaragua, we are able to provide effective relief to the region. An unseen effect of the hurricanes has been the destruction of local crops, causing an inflation in the cost of foods and goods across Nicaragua. Senior Elder William Marota reported the following.
Cuando los dos huracanes, el ETA y el IOTA, azotaron Nicaragua, definitivamente una de las cosas más tremendas son las pérdidas de muchas cosechas en los campos por acá en Nicaragua. Y no solo eso, al perderse las cosechas hay un desafío grande porque todos los productos básicos de la canasta básica pues subieron de precio y ha sido una cosa impactante la pérdida de muchos empleos. La comunidad realmente de los santos por acá en Nicaragua, de mi iglesia, cuando se enteraron, se sintieron regocijados de saber de que nuestros hermanos del Congreso iban a extendernos la mano y no solo iban a orar por nosotros.
Gracias, hermanos, porque podemos ver en ustedes el amor, podemos ver en ustedes la comunión que nos enlaza como hijos de Dios que somos. Les agradecemos por todo lo que están haciendo, por todo lo que ustedes han sembrado en nosotros, lo que ustedes han mandado a nuestra nación de Nicaragua. Ha bendecido a muchas familias.
We look forward to bringing you the next Congress WBN report from the Hispanic territories in Brazil.
Oh, what a beautiful Congress God has built. Let us all continue to pray earnestly this week for God's grace to continue to flow into every community, every family, and into the heart of every saint. And that was your Congress news for the week of January 24th, 2021. For more Congress news, visit www.cwbn.news, download the Congress News app, or tune in to Canopy Radio or Canopy TV.